What I just said
about being suckered into a pitch fest about the thousands of offers about the...
So in other words, okay, so what we have to figure out is how we're different than the rest of the events. So one of the things that differentiates us is we are not trying to grab money for people to make the owner or the speaker or the whatever rich. That's a huge differentiator, right? So one of the other things that I see is we need to boldly talk about the fact that here we have, let me go back to this crazy revelation. So military strategy, right? Okay, so I'm reading in Joshua and Judges, and this is just completely blowing my mind. Okay, so do you guys know the story of Gideon? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know the last battle of Gideon.
Yeah.
With the 300 men.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, look, you guys, you'll never guess what I saw. I've read the story so many times. I've taught on it so many times. What did they do? What did they do? So remember, God limited it from 3,000 to 300. How did they win the battle?
The lights and the horns and stuff.
Yeah.
What did they do?
They
broke pots, blew shofars. They made them sound. They made themselves sound.
Yeah.
And what happened to the enemy?
They ran away.
Shrunk back, ran away.
Fell on their own swords.
They fell on their own swords because of the wah, right? Because of the sound, the result. It sounded like,
oh my God.
Yes! So where do we dominate?
In testimony.
Yes!
Yeah.
We dominate in testimonials. They don't have testimonials to sell.
Right.
Which is why they don't sell them.
Yes.
They sell endorsements, which they have to buy.
Oh my gosh.
So we have to get more.
Oh, no. We have to get
have to
so
sell.
loud.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if there's a day that we are posting 20 testimonials on our Facebook page, that our website is just covered with them. That's how we used to do it when we first started this thing.
Yeah.
And so here I saw the picture. I'm like, holy crap! He told them, bash these clay pots, blow and shout. What other story can you remember in the Bible? It's just like that. Jericho. What did he say to do?
Shout.
Just shout. Just send out a war cry, right? Our testimony is the prophecy of Christ. That's what the Bible says. Our living testimony is the prophecy of Christ. So it's shouting from the mountaintops, these are the results that our God is getting. And not even saying that our God is getting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
These are the testimonies that happen here.
So, Mr. Summers, will you share with this room what has happened in this last year, where you were a year ago, today, this morning?
All right, so a year ago today, I was in San Diego with my arms crossed, swearing up and down I wasn't going to drink the Kool-Aid. At that time, our company was grossing about $400,000. 2 events later in Dallas, I think, and our revenue was $4 million. And so at that event, the company had made a goal to hit $12 million for the year, and we surpassed that. I hit that in 4 more months. That's all well and good, but the part that I want to focus on is how I treat my daughter. How I treat my wife. That's what's important to me. And I'm not perfect still, and that's why I'm still here. People that know me, they're like, well, why would you keep going back to this thing? Are you stupid or something? You just can't get it? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm stupid, but I'm getting it. The problem is for 47 years, I've been in these ruts, and I built those ruts. I've dug them myself. And Danny gives me the tools to get out of that rut. And when you see yourself outside of the rut, you really like what you see. And, it's easy to slip back into those ruts. And I just hate being in them ruts.
So you had a wake-up call about priorities.
Absolutely.
And you said this, I've heard you say this before. What did you think about your life before you came to First Step Success 1 year ago? Put it closer to you.
I was greater than the greatest. I mean, I was the best at what I did. I thought I was the best husband, the best father, the best businessman, and nobody did what I did better than I did it. I was an a-hole.
Aren't we all? So what an amazing wake-up call to have seen that those 9 areas of your life, that you had one that you were driving all the time and the rest were suffering.
Absolutely.
And he's in the construction industry. You build hotels, correct? He builds hotels. And, you know, where did you end up with your revenue for the year?
We just shy of 20.
Did you ever expect that?
I mean, we hoped.
There's hope, and then there's...
Yeah. To see it actually on paper, though, that's the amazing part.
How much debt have you paid off?
Probably around $80,000. So I didn't have a lot before, but...
You didn't have a lot before, but $80,000 is a lot that you've paid off in a year.
Okay.
He was here at First Step Success for the first time 1 year ago. First timers, stand up. Stand up, first timers. He was you 1 year ago. 1 year ago. In debt. Thinking he was a good husband. Wasn't. Thinking he was a good father. Wasn't. Thinking he had it all together. By the confession of his own people, he was a... To today have rallied and grown in his influence, has, grown his income to a crazy level. Just shy of $20 million in 12 months. In 12 months, $80,000 worth of debt gone. Marriage, totally different. I can tell you right now, I have proof of the fact of what a totally different father he is. Can I get the camera on his hands? Mr. Joe, construction worker, has blue nail polish on his fingertips that his daughter painted for him. And his toes. Builds hotels, works with predominantly just guys. And you're like, I don't ever want to be that man. I don't ever want my fingernails to be painted blue. No, it's bigger than that. He could give a rip about what you think, but he values the opinion of his little girl and wants to be with her and show her the kind of man that one day will court her. Not that it means pink fingernails, but it means that he showed interest in his daughter's interests. How does it feel? I mean, come on, you heard the stories a year ago from the stage. You heard the stories a year ago.
Yeah, and you know, when I got here, they introduced you the first time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. They probably paid that guy to say that stuff. So.
And you should have been thinking like that, because there's a lot of BS out there.
Yeah.
There really is. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of promises that never get fulfilled. And we deliver on our promise. We will show you how to pay off your debt in 5 to 7 years. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. We will show you how to increase your income. We will show you how to have more love and fulfillment and satisfaction out of all of your relationships that are here on planet Earth. We guarantee that you will have those results. Will you guarantee that you will follow directions like he did? Because if you guarantee you will follow directions, you're guaranteed to have results. There isn't any Kool-Aid, I promise. It's so funny that people say that. But nonetheless, this is your target, friends. This is your goal. I'm not saying you have to build a business to $20 million in a year. I'm not saying you have to pay off $80,000 worth of debt. I'm saying you have to produce results. And those are the results that he needed to produce on that side of the fence. All the while, did you reduce your hours?
Oh, yeah.
So reduced his hours, improved his marriage, connected in a totally different level with his daughter, paid off debt, increased his income, and has built a team that is now around him that he's also invested into their lives, and their lives have also changed. Have some of your staff paid off debt?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Give this man a big hand. You guys can sit down. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, so Micah, and this will be good for you when you guys are collecting testimonials. I don't know what teacher, trainer, or conference you've been learning from, but if you're not getting results like this, stop what you're doing now and get registered for First Steps to Success. Tired of being sucked in and manipulated into conferences where there's 20 different speakers and every hour you're being pitched another deal that you do not need? Tired of being taken advantage of? Then you better stop what you're doing right now and get registered for First Steps to Success. You want results? This is where you get them. So how will we go into the enemy's camp directly? Right now the enemy is who? That makes me sick to my stomach. Makes me sick to my stomach. And he just raised his prices again. And everything that people paid $18,000 for, they don't get to keep any of it?
No, I don't know.
No, they don't. They don't. You want to keep the training that you learned last year? It's now going to cost you $25,000 next year. So it's not $1,800 a month anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone up for you to keep what you paid for already. Obviously, have you read Uncommon Service?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
You should read it. Okay, it's good that you read it. He's choosing to suck at service.
Yeah.
He's choosing to suck at responding to his customers.
Right.
He's choosing to not give a rip if people actually succeed.
Yeah.
All he has to do is sell a handful of successes, and by the way,
Right.
it's all hype. Okay, $1 million funnel. How much did they make? How much did they spend?
Right, exactly.
Yes.
They
And
spend
there's
$1
how much
million
they
to
spend.
get $1 million?
Right.
Or
That
more
ain't
than
making
$1
any
million.
money.
That's
So
zero.
do you hear me?
More
That's
than
what we're
$1
going to need to
million.
talk about.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it.
Yeah.
You see some of these hypesters out there saying that someone made $1 million? Yeah, what they're not telling you is they spent $1 million in advertising to collect $1 million,
Or more
which
than
means
$1
they
million.
meant nothing.
Or more than it.
Exactly.
Why do you think I'm here?
The more these guys do it, guess what they're creating for us?
More people
More
for us to
people.
help.
So we have to fish in those camps.
Yeah.
And we have to speak the language. We have to know what's the frustration that guy is having. He risks everything, right? Okay, so we hear that all those credit card declines that happened, right? So here's all those credit cards decline that happened there, and those guys at the front of the room are mad that that's happened. It would be breaking my heart.
Right.
So then I go, all right, that's our people. Their family's future is being plundered. And what do we have to do? Go grab them out of the enemy's camp. And how do we get them? Like, you tired of being plundered? You tired of being manipulated? Whether that is by your church or that is by some training that you've had, some online course that is doing nothing besides making those guys richer. You want results. You care about your family. How are you, because now that you stepped out on all those trainings, now you have to declare bankruptcy and your wife's out the door? Or your husband's ready to leave? That's the reality. That's what's going on inside that room.
Yeah.
There's so much brokenness and desperation.
Come on, honey, stand up, stand up, stand up. How much debt? How much debt? $350,000. Come here, gorgeous. And I heard you are Hapai again. That dress is rad. Do you know what causes this? You prayed for it, yeah.
Prayed for it in Israel, actually.
That's so awesome.
The first time my husband and I were actually in agreement to having another baby, and boom, I got pregnant right away.
That's awesome. Yeah. So prior to First Steps to Success?
Prior to First Steps to Success, I was working 80 hours a week. I was miserable. I had 4 kids. My husband was gone 10 months out of the year, and I was terribly suicidal. I had suicidal thoughts for 15 years, but at this point, I had pulled out $1 million life insurance policy and was trying to figure out what to do with the kids so that I wouldn't ruin their lives. Hated my husband, and I'm sure he hated me too. We didn't ever talk. We didn't care for each other. And I was desperate to figure out how to do what the other people in my industry were doing. How could they do it in 20 hours? How was it possible? So I spent $25,000 secretly out of my retirement account so my husband wouldn't find out. And I paid for every guru who could tell me how to do it better. But I needed to make the money back really fast because when taxes came around, my husband was going to find out. So I was at the end of my rope, and I knew there was nothing left for me to do. I had spent all the money. The gurus didn't help me. I was stressed. I spent 300 hours knocking on doors to get the message out for my company. I was doing everything that I was told to do. I built funnels. I did online. I did everything that I could do, everything I was told. And I was just burned out. I hated being a mom, but on the outside, I was a minivan driving homeschool mom with a husband who's really handsome, has a great job. Went to church every Sunday. And then I saw an ad on Facebook as I was scrolling through thinking everybody else's life was perfect. And it was for this lady who was going to show me in 30 days for free on a boot camp how I was going to make more money. And I'm like, well, I've tried everything else. And I used that free 30-day boot camp and made more money than I had made on the $25,000. So I was like, well, I better go to the training. So I signed up for First Steps and Dynasty at the same time because I said, I better try it all because if she's the real deal, then I'm going all in. In 30 days, my husband was so freaked out by what had happened. I reduced my hours from 80 to 5 and made more money. And he's like, either a miracle happened or you're involved in a cult. But he's like, I'm going to find out either way. So he went to the next training by himself. And he came back and he was like, I'm so sorry. I find out he was also suicidal, but I had no clue. I had no clue. And it was a race to see who killed themselves first, to be honest. And we worked on our marriage first, and in that first 15 months after he came back, we paid off $350,000, and we put $250,000 in the bank. He walked away from his incredible job. They offered him 2 promotions, a $150,000 tax-free bonus, just to stay for a couple more years. And he declined. He said, I want to spend more time with my family. And since then, we've built a couple businesses, and we're in a new season. And it's all because we kept plugging back in. We both grew up in the church. He grew up in the mission field. We never felt comfortable at church. Never. And this was the first time we met people who were actually authentic and actually cared about our journey, and a mentor who didn't judge us from the outside and didn't say, you're not making money fast enough, you're not doing it right. She said, great job, keep going. And now we're expecting. We had 4 kids at the time, and I was trying to figure out what they were going to do. We since had another baby, and I'm expecting again, so.
Number 6 on the way. It's amazing. Proud of you.
Oh, and by the way, and I have this other thing that birthed in me. Money. Yep, you're right. That's the problem. Money is the problem. Money is the reason why you and your spouse are fighting. Money is the reason why you're neglecting your kids. Yeah. Money is the reason why you've gained 100 pounds because of stress.
So got it.
Money's the enemy. You're right. It's
But
money.
I'm not doing that in advertising.
You could.
Yes, you
Test it.
You
honey.
totally could.
Contrarian.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah, money is the problem. You're right. And this is all the places that it's affecting. This is all the places that it's affecting. Imagine if you learned how to make money your tool instead of the sword that is gutting you.
Don't say anything.
So I know that testimonials are our bombs. Mm-hmm. And we got a bomb. We got a bomb with results. Mm-hmm. And we got to be hunting, and that points me in a direction. I'm going to make sure people make money, and we got to find these like the Goran, like
yeah.
You get that one. She is everyday average girl next door. Mm-hmm. That's what she is. Yeah. She's not beautiful and perfect. She is the girl next door.
Right.
What do you?
We need that in 2% Nation to get more people to send in their stories. Like they're just falling all over themselves, sending in their stories because they get what you just said and they have goosebumps just like I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need to put you on video in 2% Nation saying that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I know that stories is going that's our Trojan horse.
Yes.
Into the enemy's camp. No question. It's the Trojan horse in.
Yes.
And leading with those stories. So, and Rachel, get super contrarian. That's what provoked me to bring you over here to tell you what I told you. If you're not getting these results from the current gurus or leaders or teachers that you're following, you better stop what you're doing right now and get registered for First Step Success.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's... I can't wait for you to read that book. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, oh, this is so good. You're going to be wanting to eat in the pages.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you get fed, and it's just beautiful and amazing. What else was it? In terms of what we're talking about, I think you could be asking questions, and even asking questions of different clients. Like, how is Danny different? You've ever been to other seminars? That's something we're not talking about. You've been to other people's seminars. How's this different?
Yeah.
When you talk to Xtina,
Yes.
Alyssa Roberti, because they all went to.
Yes.
There's plenty
There's
of
lots
our
of them,
clients.
but
They've
like
been to everything.
Xtina, like Xtina like Alyssa Roberti, like blew
Yeah.
lots
Okay,
of
but
cash
let's
on.
not let that like derail from actually getting stories though. Like yes,
No, but
let's
it needs
talk
to be
about
part
it,
of a
but
story, yeah.
don't let that derail from actually collecting.
No.
No, of
What do you mean,
course,
what,
like
derail?
not just
Like don't go like asking everybody in the room like have you been to other conferences? Like stay focused
No.
on
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah, yeah.
the story,
No,
but
but
happen
specifically,
to ask.
yeah,
Like
specifically after we get the story.
Yeah.
You've been to other conferences, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
How is this different?
But
Totally.
that can be
And dig
just two
deeper.
questions.
Dig
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Dig deep.
Yeah.
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 You know who you should ask right now is Andy.
Yeah.
Andy is so passionate
Yeah,
about
no,
this
he-
messaging.
Yeah.
Oh, ask me.
Like, you guys need to do videos on yourselves.
Yeah.
Why? And get to the why.
Yeah.
Why is it different? And then, I mean, you are going to come unglued.
Right.
Come unglued.
Yeah.
And it's, do you have any idea all the BS that happens behind the closed doors of all the so-called big guys that are advertising all over the place right now? It's disgusting. Let me tell you what I've seen. But let me tell you what happens here. Let me tell you what the results are here. Let me tell you my personal results that I've personally gotten.
Have you signed over your check for last year to King James?
Yeah,
Oh, darn. I was
totally.
gonna
You
say,
should have
I
seen
wish
the
we could get a
response. Next
video
time,
of it.
next time you should probably tell Doug, because you should see my response. Because he comes at me, and again, it's a natural response. I won't remember it next year. But he comes in and he has it. He's like, hey, I need you to sign something. I'm like, okay. He comes over and it's a check, and I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't, it would have been amazing to capture on video, but that's my like, no, like, I don't want to see it.
I just remember
Can
like
you
2
turn it
years
over?
ago watching you sign it over in your house
Yeah.
and like yeah.
It's disgusting
Like
to
if
me.
we had a video of that, that'd
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what check?
Like the
Her
salary.
salary.
that
The
she has to
government,
take.
forces me to take a salary.
Right.
Because of the structure of what our company
Yeah.
is. So, okay, there's an S Corp and there's a C Corp. A C Corp is only allowed to give 10% total. You can't give more than 10%. An S Corp, and this makes me so mad, an S Corp, you have to have a minimum salary that's market value for the size of your business, right? So so you can't make $50,000 a year running a business that's $5.5 million. So I take the very bare minimum that
Salary
I have
that
to,
you have to.
right? And I just sign the check over. I don't.
At the end of the year.
I just sign it over. I don't want it touching my. Anyway, the saddest part about the S Corp is that so in order for us to be able to give what we give, because we give the 10% is gross, which is 30% of our net profit. So in a C Corp, we wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
Do you understand? Because we're giving 30% of our net. Then
Yeah.
we do the additional. Then we give all the extra that we give away of the profits. So, which is more than 50% of our,
Yeah.
far more than 50% of our net, because I store away for the staff, for protection, for investing into the business, have $1 million to invest in advertising so we can grow. Bottom line is that it all runs through mine and Dad's Social Security number. That's the bad part about it. So the only way to be able to give as much as we give is that, so in other words, it counts as phantom income to me. So we pay extra taxes on everything that happens in here, which sucks, which is lame, because that's how the government is. And then we still get taxed on all the money that we give.
Right.
Yeah, so we have a certain amount that you can give, up to 50% of your income you can give tax-free. So
The other 50%.
the other 50% is taxed, so.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's disgusting. No, it's, they want their part. And then, of course, now what they're doing with 501c3s, too.
Yeah.
They're trying to get us to register in every state, all 50 states. So they get, it's disgusting. It's a racket. It's an absolute racket. It is literally robbing and oppressing the poor. That's exactly what the government's doing. So anyway, otherwise I wouldn't have a salary at all.
Yeah.
If we were a C Corp, I wouldn't have I could
Yeah.
opt out of having a salary, but we wouldn't be able to give.
You would not be able to
We'd
give
be able
as
to
much as you
give
do.
even just 10%.
Yeah.
We couldn't even give the 10% because it's 30% of our net. So we wouldn't be able to do that. So
But if you took a bigger salary, wouldn't there technically be a 50% that was less taxed? Like the 50% would be bigger, so there'd be less that was taxed, right? Maybe.
yeah, but
And then you
I'm
just-
taxed on my income.
Oh.
I'm at that 50% tax bracket
Okay,
anyway,
yeah.
right? So no matter
Yeah.
what, they have
Yeah.
their loophole to get their. It's so disgusting. They really don't want the poor to get money.
Yeah.
Free
It's
enterprise.
disgusting. All right, well, awesome. So I really believe that testimonials are, and it's so funny. I've always used the term machine gun testimonials. It's like weird, but anyway, so rapid fire testimonials, and if you're not getting results like this, you might want to stop following who you're following and get your butt registered to First Step Success.
Yeah. Oh, I want to put that video of you saying in 2% Nation how these are our bombs. By sharing your story, these are our bombs. This is why we ask. This is why it's important. You are helping us go into the enemy's camp.
I really think that you guys should do a video with him, Andy, and her, and get into those. You've been to other conferences. What's different? We have that. That's a question in the prospect's mind, you guys. That's a question in their mind. How is this any different than the one I went to 2 weeks ago that my bank account was drained from? It was a hype fest. How is this any different? We are not answering that question.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
In fact, you guys should be finding out what the objections are that this team is getting on the phone. We should be finding out what the objections are that Mary's getting on Facebook.
Do you know how many times I've asked for that?
Well, why haven't you gotten it? No. You know the answer.
Too much going on.
There you go. Right? There's too much going on. So if we don't know what the objections are that they're getting, then we're not. Then that's not completing your marketing. That's not a closed loop.
Yeah, I have a question about that for I'm not sure who. So like, I'm running a ton of ads for a ton of different things.
We need to reduce them.
And
simplify.
Like, but
let's look at it together.
Honey, let me show you. Get Diana in here, please.
I'm going to show you something.
I'm going to show you something.
All right, so hey, there we were in the middle of the day having a meeting and just really like trying to work through some things and figure some things out. And we just decided like, let's just like turn the iPhone on and like just let this be real. Like let you behind the scenes with us here in our office. And so here's what I want to tell you. You just saw some stories, right? And you saw the passion that we have as an organization to see you succeed. Do you know of anyone that's fighting for you like that? I can think of a lot of people who are fighting for your pocketbook. They're fighting for your Visa card. And they're in meetings figuring out how to get you to spend more money with them as they hand you a pile of nothing. Listen, First Steps to Success and DannyJohnson.com is not about handing you a pile of nothing. We're about handing you a pile of results. In fact, this is what I promise you. You give me 3 days of your life and $799, and in the 30 days following that event, give me 3 days of your life, April 12th through the 14th. And then 30 days following that, so by May 14th and 15th, if your bank account is not bigger, and if you are in any kind of sales or business, and if your sales have not increased, if your marriage hasn't gotten sweeter and more harmony, more peace, if your kids are exactly the same, whether they're screaming brats or they're doing okay, if they're the same, then I want you to call us and we will gladly give you your money back. I don't want your money. I want your results. So if you can guarantee me that you will show up, you will pay attention, you will take notes, and you will begin to implement what I have taught you, then in 30 days, you're going to produce a brand new story, just like the thousands and tens of thousands of stories that have been produced inside of 30 days after their very first steps to success. We guarantee it. So the bottom line is, I don't want your money, and I don't want to be your guru. I don't want to be your teacher, your trainer. I don't want to be in any part even your leader. I want to be the one that causes you to step up, rise up, and do something profound with your life. You're going to come to the one place where you can get it all inside of 3 days. And in the proof is that 30 days following, you're going to have a fatter bank account, your sales are going to increase, your job is going to become more fulfilling, your marriage is going to be hotter and sweeter, and your kids are going to blow your mind from the things that you learned that you don't know how to do right now. Because if you knew how to do them, you would be doing them, friend. So you're going to watch your entire life change inside of 30 days. We 100% money back guarantee it. So give me 3 days of your life. 3. I want 3 days to start. $7.99, but if you step up right this minute, we'll take $200 off that ticket. And if you come to First Steps and you say, this is like hocus pocus, phooey, none of this is going to work, I can't apply, I've already heard all this, none of this stuff works, then you come to the back table on the 3rd day and say, I want my money back, that you don't even want to apply any of it, we'll give you your money back right then and there. So step up right now, friend, get yourself registered, stop being broke, stop being seduced by other people
people on the internet telling you and promising you that you're going to have all this stuff, but they can't prove it. They haven't given you anything tangible. They're either speaking right over your head, or you're coming to some event with a bunch of lights and camera and smoke, whether that's your church event or that is some business event. And at the end of the 30 days, when it's all said and done, you have nothing. It was as though what they taught you was nothing but air. That doesn't happen here at DannyJohnson.com. How is it that we get 90% of our clients that go through First Step Success give us a 5-star review? Why? Come and find out. I challenge you. Will you be the next story that you heard inside of today's video? Will you be like these clients who you just heard their personal story about what has happened in their life because they gave 3 days? So listen, there's a chance for you to save $200 right now. So step up, rise up, and do something great with your life. Quit being owned by your excuses. Please stop being owned by stupidity and come to an environment that is going to change you from the inside out forever. I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to see your family there. I can't wait to see your coworkers, your business associates along with you. If you want fast results, bring everybody along with you and watch what happens. Say goodbye to your dead, boring, lack of adventurous life and say hello to the life you're going to write for yourself. I can't wait to see you there. We'll see you April 12th through the 14th. Go to DaniJohnson.com. Again, that's DaniJohnson.com right now. Click on events. You'll see the dates, April 12th through the 14th. Register immediately. Save $200. 100% money back guarantee.